Mars and Pluto are the rulers of this lunation, and they're both transiting at a critical degree, 29 degrees of Cancer and 29 degrees of Capricorn. Mars and Pluto both rule the sign of Scorpio. Mars independently rules the sign of Aries, where the transiting North Node is. This makes the actions that Mars takes very important because Mars is the planet that is directing our fate, our destiny, our future. So whatever Mars is doing in your chart is very important until the North Node moves into the sign of Pisces sometime next January. Mars at 29 degrees of Cancer, a water sign, is considered Ganganta. This is the drowning degree in Vedic astrology. If you have a person or planet, a point or an angle at this degree, it means that you always must be careful around large masses of water because it's very likely that you could drown. And for the rest of us experiencing this as just a transit, this new moon could have us feeling highly emotion, as if we're drowning in emotion, drowning in tears. And in other parts of the country or in the world, we could be experiencing massive storms, torrential rains, and flooding, experiencing water everywhere, either physically or emotionally. And this is due to the fact that we have a water grand trine at the time of this lunation. So secure your house, your property against flooding. And make sure your home insurance is up to date and that it also includes flooding. I'm going to be discussing how the Scorpio new moon is going to affect you according to your ascendant sign. I'm also going to talk about what your ruling planet is doing at the time of this lunation. The energies of the new moon are going to lead up to the Mars-Pluto opposition transit that is going to happen on November 3rd. I'm already working on that video, so I'm going to encourage you to watch that video when it comes out because it's going to help you tie in all the energies together. A new moon in the sign of Scorpio is going to bring up anything that is underground, anything that is hidden. Secrets are going to be revealed. If you have anything hidden in the closet, it's going to come out. The skeletons are going to be dug up, and all the secrets about big money, big corporations will also be exposed. There is no escaping here. Pluto is transiting the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th house of the zodiac. This is a public house. Whatever secrets are revealed as a result of this new moon, they're going to be public knowledge. Whatever is done in the 10th house becomes public knowledge. Mars is transiting the sign of Cancer, the 4th house of the zodiac. So it's going to hit home. It will be intense and emotional. And that is because all the water trines are activated at the time of this new moon. They're forming what we call a grand water trine. There will be a lot of water everywhere. It's going to feel emotional, it's going to be sensitive, and there will be a lot of tears shed. It's okay to let yourself have a good cry. It's a new moon, so there will be a new beginning. This will be after a death and transformation in your Scorpio house. So use your intuition to navigate difficult and emotional situations. Natural instincts are going to be highly activated. The other reason why this lunation is going to be somewhat challenging is because the moon is debilitated in the sign of Scorpio. However, the ruler of the lunation is also in a sign of its debilitation, and that is Mars in the sign of Cancer. Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and Mars is being hosted by the moon. Mars is currently transiting Cancer, who's ruled by the moon. The moon is in the sign of Scorpio being hosted by Mars, and Mars is in Cancer being hosted by the moon. There's a mutual reception of these debilitated planets going on at the time of this lunation. This aspect could possibly cure the debilitation that these planets are feeling in these signs. They'll be working together and will not destroy each other's houses. However, it's difficult for these houses to harm each other because they're already in a trine aspect. They already work together by nature. They're both water signs. It's just that they don't like their ruling planets being in these signs. Hello YouTube, my name is Rachel Mayo. Welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. I would like to say a big thank you to all my new subscribers and my existing subscribers who always come back and comment on my videos. Commenting on my videos really helps my channel grow. I really appreciate it. So please comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from, even if it's just to say thank you or hello. Also, make sure to like this video, share my videos with your friends and family. All these actions help my channel grow. It also lets the YouTube algorithm know that you're enjoying my channel, you love my content. Therefore, the algorithm will promote my channel to other people that love astrology. So please like, share, and comment. I have a special discounted reading that focuses only on the Mars in Cancer transits and all of its aspects, including the Mars opposition Pluto. This Mars in Cancer energy is going to be around for a very long time. We're going to be dominated by Mars in Cancer for about 6 months, well into spring of 2025. Mars is going to go retrograde in Leo on December 6th and retrograde all the way back into Cancer. So if you'd like to know how this life-changing transit is going to affect you personally, I suggest that you take advantage of the discounted reading special. It's a limited time offer, so book now. This is an excellent opportunity for you to try me and see how I do my readings. I'm starting to take bookings for December, so if you'd like to book a reading with me, I suggest that you email me so that I can add you to my waiting list. If you need an emergency reading, or you're one of those people that are in a different time zone and it's challenging for you to find a convenient time on my website, I suggest that you email me so that I can get you on my waiting list. And if it's an emergency, perhaps I can squeeze you in. My email is going to be linked in the description area. I'm going to encourage you to listen to the entire introduction of this video, and this is because this is where I go over the aspects of the event chart, and sometimes I do share personal stories. This is also where I make the announcements of the winners of the free solar return chart readings. And if you'd like to evaluate how this transit is going to affect you according to your natal placements, I encourage you to listen to the introduction as well. I'm still running the competition for the free solar return chart reading. I'm going to be announcing winners on my next video. This is your chance to state your case as to why you should be a winner. If you commented on my past videos, I'm going to encourage you to comment again. Make me notice you. So if you'd like to enter the contest to win a free solar return chart reading with me, all you have to do is comment below, say free solar, and subscribed. You must be subscribed to my channel in order to win. So who's going to win this tug of war between two planets that rule the sign of Scorpio? I believe Pluto is going to win in this opposition, and this is simply because Pluto is the slower moving planet. He's been working on the sign of Capricorn since 2008. Pluto has a longer orb around the zodiac, a couple of 100 years. Pluto is a planet that kills whatever it touches. He's finishing up the demolition in our Capricorn house. Mars wishes he was in the sign of Capricorn because this is where he's exalted. Unfortunately, he's transiting the sign of Cancer, the sign of his debilitation. Mars is going to stay in the sign of Cancer and move on to the sign of Leo. So this opposition is going to carry on for about 6 months. Pluto has been playing the long game. Pluto is the one who's going to win in this opposition. The new moon is happening on November 1st, 2024. It's going to occur at 7:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York time, so make sure you're checking your own time zone in order to get the correct ascendant. The Scorpio new moon is going to be at around 9 degrees of Scorpio. So check to see if you have a planet, point, or an angle at this degree, a few degrees before or a few degrees after. So whatever you have there is going to be activated. The closest and most exact aspect at the time of this lunation is the trine to retrograde Saturn at 12 degrees in the sign of Pisces. This is a very supportive, solid aspect. It's going to bring stability. It's going to help us achieve emotional stability. Saturn is going to give us the confidence to initiate new things, have brand new beginnings in our Scorpio house. The trine aspect is bringing supportive energies to this lunation. So some things that are really important to us are going to work out in our favor. And this is going to happen easily and effortlessly. And the other reason why this is so supportive is the fact that there is a kite formation at the time of this lunation. So if we can control ourselves, make the right initiations, Mars is going to help us with the takeoff. And this is because Mars is the ruler of this lunation in communication with the other ruling planet of Scorpio. However, Mars is more important because Mars is the planet that is directing our destiny, our fate, because he is the ruler of the transiting North Node. So whatever actions you're going to take at the time of this lunation, your actions are going to shape your future. Scorpio is the 8th house of the zodiac. It rules over secrets, your secrets, other people's secrets, and even the secrets that we keep from ourselves. It's a psychological house. It also rules over the occult and dark behaviors like manipulation, obsessions, jealousy. But most of all, Scorpio rules our reproductive organs. It rules over fertility. And this is important here because we have the ruler of this lunation, Mars, at a critical degree in the sign of Cancer. 29 degrees is an anaretic degree. Mars at this critical degree is fighting fiercely for women's reproductive rights. The 8th house also rules over sex, taxes, death, and transformation. This house rules over other people's money, deep bonding intimacy, sharing resources, financial windfalls like lotteries, inheritances. This is money that you have not earned, like loans and mortgages. Mercury at 25 degrees of Scorpio is exactly opposite Uranus at 25 degrees of Taurus. Mercury in the sign of Scorpio is digging up hidden information and secrets, and these are going to be revealed unexpectedly and suddenly as a result of this opposition. We're all going to receive unexpected information in this area of our chart. And this is going to cause a lot of chaos, disruption, and transformation. Things are not going to stay the same in our life. After the revelation of the secrets, top secrets, that could have to do with our leaders, our government, authorities, or long-standing structures. Because of Pluto's final transit in Capricorn, Pluto has been digging up old secrets and acting as a wrecking ball to old structures and old people. It's going to be a shit show. Pluto is going to burn down the house, and this is because Pluto destroys whatever it touches. And something totally brand new has to be rebuilt. A death and transformation must occur. Mars in Cancer is drowning in emotional drama. In the home area, fighting to protect his family, his home, his mother, his homeland. Mars in the sign of Cancer is protecting whatever makes him feel safe. So expect a lot of power struggles, passive aggressiveness, high passions, and perhaps even violence. There will be major power grabs, and this is because the old guard knows that their time is up. So they will try extreme moves to hold on to power. Scorpio is a water sign, and Mars, the ruler of this lunation, is also in a water sign. And the two rulers of this sign being at a critical degree is adding to the intensity of this lunation. The grand water trine is going to bring some healing after the release of these intense emotions. Retrograde Jupiter in Gemini at around 20 degrees is opposite Venus in Sagittarius. I always love to see the two benefics of the zodiac in communication, even if it's in an opposition. This is really important because Jupiter is sextile Chiron in Aries, and Venus is trine Chiron in Aries. This is an aspect that's going to bring some type of healing to our wounds. Some type of healing to our old wounds. Jupiter is currently transiting retrograde, so it's going over old territory, and so is Chiron. Chiron is transiting retrograde in the sign of Aries, bringing up past hurts, past arguments, and perhaps unhealed past physical wounds. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so some of these wounds can be physical, wounds about our identity. These past wounds could have something to do with our identity and how we want other people to see us. And with the amount of secrets that are going to be revealed at this time, we're going to need the emotional support of this grand water trine and the sextiles and trine to Chiron from the two benefics of the zodiac. The aspects to Chiron by the two benefics is helping you heal old wounds. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself or others. So who's going to be highly impacted by this lunation? Everybody. And this is because we all have a Scorpio house somewhere in our chart. Even if you don't have a planet or point angle in that house, you're still going to feel this energy. Scorpio energy is not light energy. It's really heavy and dark energy. And it's also a house of endings. Whenever there's a lunation, new moon, or full moon, something has to die off so that something else can be rebuilt in this area. If you have anything at 9 degrees of Scorpio or any of the other fixed signs, you're going to feel this lunation personally. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Scorpio and Taurus are going to experience this lunation very personally, but most intensely the sign of Scorpio, because this is where the lunation is happening. Taurus is going to feel the opposition. You're going to feel like other people are opposing you, and this is also emphasized because Mercury is transiting the sign of Scorpio and opposing Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Leo and Aquarius are also going to be highly impacted by this lunation, and this is because they're going to feel the square aspect. A square aspect is one of the most challenging aspects in astrology. You're going to be pushed into taking action. And this means that you're one of the two signs that are probably going to get highly triggered. The water signs are going to have a better experience at the time of this lunation, and this is because they'll be experiencing the trine aspect, and there is a grand water trine in this chart. So that is very supportive energy, which is going to make things happen easily, and effortlessly. Some things are just going to work out in your favor. Earth signs are also going to have a better experience at the time of this lunation, and this is because earth signs sextile water signs. A sextile aspect is an aspect that brings opportunities your way. One has to take action. You have to make an effort to use this energy, otherwise the energy just dissipates and the opportunities go away. So get up and do something. Everyone is going to feel this intensely, and this is because every planet in this chart is making an aspect to another planet. So all the planets are in conversation and possibly triggering off something in your chart. If you're born on or around the 1st of November, a few days before or a few days after, you're going to feel this personally and intensely, and this is because this energy is going to be embedded in your solar return chart. This will be a life-transforming solar year for you. It's a year you're going to look back and remember as the year when there were massive endings and brand new beginnings. So if you'd like to know where this is happening in your solar return chart, I suggest that you book a reading with me at rachel-mayo.com. Aries, ascendant, sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your 8th house. This is where you're going to have a new beginning after a death and transformation. Aries ascendant sets the order of the zodiac. So whatever is said in any introduction of a lunation video or a transit video will always apply to you. So please go back and listen to the introduction. The 8th house rules over other people's money, death, sex, and transformation. This is the house where we keep our secrets, other people's secrets, even the secrets that we keep from ourselves. And this is what makes this house a psychological house. So Aries, if you owe large amounts of money on your mortgage, your car payment, or any other type of loan that you have with an institution or other people, this is going to come up for review. It might be time for you to settle these debts. And for some of you on the positive side, it could be that you're finally paying off your mortgage or a car payment. If you've been going through a divorce or a breakup with your business partner, this could be the time that you're now finalizing the dividing of your shared resources. You could be concluding your divorce at this time. Aries, if you've been holding on to a deep secret, perhaps about an illicit affair or anything to do with other people's money, perhaps you've been doing something dodgy in this area, those things are going to be revealed at this time. The lunation is bringing a spotlight on whatever is hidden in this house. It's going to be revealed and exposed. The secret is going to come out. I advise you to just come out clean so that you can avoid bitter resentments and arguments. This is a house of death and transformation. Something is going to come up and it's going to be released. And after all this is said and done, this is when you can have a brand new beginning. The new beginning could be that you've divorced your partner, you're no longer sharing resources with another person, or you're no longer responsible for another person or a mortgage, and you're able to begin anew in this area and direct your life in a different way. And if you've been in a long-term relationship, some of you could be deciding to move in with your partner, combine your resources, and now you have somebody to help you pay your bills. You are sharing resources. And moving in together could really deepen your bond and make your life a lot easier. Your ruling planet Mars is highly involved at the time of this lunation. Mars is not directly aspecting the lunation, and this is because Mars is too far away from the degree of the lunation. However, he's aspecting the sign of Scorpio with a trine aspect. But what is really important here is that you are transiting at the critical degree, 29 degrees of Cancer. You're feeling like you've been pushed against the wall and you need to take action, and you don't know how to take action in this area because you don't know how to deal with this watery energy of the sign of Cancer. You're not feeling empowered, you're feeling passive aggressive, you're not feeling yourself. You're also feeling like you're being opposed by big powers, a big bully, like your bosses or authority figures, and in some cases, some of you could literally be getting bullied. Mars is transiting your 4th house. This is a very sensitive point in the zodiac. This is where we're most vulnerable. You're already dealing with major issues in your home area. I think this lunation is going to be quite challenging for you, Aries, simply because your ruling planet is in a face-off, an opposition with Pluto in Capricorn. There is a larger story going on here. So this means that some of you will be paying more attention to what's going on with you emotionally and at home. Taurus, ascendant, sun, or moon. This lunation is happening in your 7th house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after some type of death and transformation. The 7th house is an angle house. And when an angle house is activated, it activates all the other angles in our chart. So this means that this lunation could be absolutely life-changing for you, Taurus. The 7th house rules over our relationships, committed relationships, business partnerships, anything that we have to do with another person. It also rules over sex and business. These are activities that involve another person, usually. Taurus, if your relationship has not been working out for a while, this could be the time that things in your relationship are heating up. Things will come to a head and an ending. This means that some of you will be filing for a divorce. Others will be separating from their business partners. Others will be shutting down their business if it has not been turning a profit. If one of you has been cheating or doing anything underhanded against their partner, this secret is going to be revealed at this time. This is because the full moon in a sign of Scorpio is going to highlight all the secrets of the relationship. And Mercury transiting the sign of Scorpio, the sign of your partner, it's inevitable that whatever is hidden is brought up to the surface, and it's going to be brought up to the surface unexpectedly because there is an opposition with Uranus, who's currently transiting your sign. For others who've been dating somebody casually, perhaps a situationship or just some type of hookup, this could be the time that you decide to transform this relationship, elevate to this relationship to a 7th house type of relationship, a committed relationship. So this essentially means that some of you could be deciding to get married at this time. There will be a death to the old relationship, the casual relationship, and a new beginning with a commitment that could perhaps lead to marriage. Some of you will be ending all contracts and agreements with your business partner and starting up new partnerships. And if things don't end amicably, some of you will be initiating a lawsuit. Your ruling planet Venus is not aspecting this lunation because Venus is currently transiting at around 21 degrees of Sagittarius. However, Venus is involved in an opposition to Jupiter, who's currently transiting retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Both benefics are aspecting Chiron. So perhaps there will be a cathartic healing after this relationship ends, or after a long-term relationship agrees to go into a commitment of marriage. There's real healing that can come about after the two of you put everything on the table, come out honestly, reveal whatever is hidden, things that you have not addressed in the relationship, or things that you've been harboring in your heart because you couldn't trust your partner with your emotions, so that you can begin anew with deep honesty and intimacy. This is the type of relationship that a Taurus wants. I want to know everything about you, even the dark parts. Gemini, ascendant, sun, or moon. This lunation is happening in your 6th house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after a death and transformation. The 6th house rules over our daily routine, our health, our diet, our exercise regimen, the work that we do every day. It also rules over our pet. We do take care of our pet on a daily basis. These are the areas where you're going to have a new beginning after some type of ending. If you've been having problems or underperforming at your job, this could be the ending of your employment. You could get fired. You'll have a new beginning because you are now unemployed and you're spending most of your time at home. You have a new daily routine in your home area, while others of you will get out there and look for a new job. The new beginning could be that some of you get new employment at this time. The 6th house also rules over our known enemies, and our known enemies could be our bad eating habits, our lack of exercise. Some of you could have a new beginning in this area because you're going to quit your bad habits. Some of you are going to stop smoking. Some of you are going to decide to start a new diet. This new diet could be a purging type of diet. Some of you could be doing a cleanse at this time. And some of you are going to go to extremes. And this is because you're really trying to transform your health. Some of you could quit smoking cold turkey, while others are going to quit doing drugs or drinking. Some of you could have a new beginning because you're now addressing these issues by going into rehab or hiring a personal trainer so that you can effectively address losing weight with the help of a professional. If your pet is old or they've been experiencing bad health, unfortunately, this is the time that they will be transitioning. This means that some of you are going to have an ending with your pet, while others of you will be deciding to get a new pet at this time. And this new pet could feel like a soulmate. Your ruling planet Mercury is involved at the time of this lunation. Mercury is not exactly aspecting the lunation because it's too far away from the degree of the lunation. However, Mercury is transiting the sign of the lunation. Mercury is transiting Scorpio. Mercury is making an aspect to both rulers of the lunation. Mercury is part of the water grand trine. Mercury is trining Mars and Neptune. This is the grand water trine. This means that you could be feeling highly sensitive and emotional at the time of this lunation. This could be because perhaps you've discovered or uncovered deep hidden secrets, or you're receiving some type of information about your health, your job, or any other issue that involves the sixth house area. And you're receiving this information suddenly and unexpectedly because you're opposing Uranus, who's currently transiting retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Uranus is transiting your 12th house. This is the area of our hidden enemies, hidden issues. This is an area where we are powerless. But you have the opportunity to help yourself in the sixth house because you are a big part of this lunation. You're transiting the sign of the lunation and you're communicating with both rulers. You're in a sextile aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So Gemini has some power to really direct their fate and destiny in their sixth house. Cancer ascendant sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your fifth house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after a death and transformation. The fifth house is a lucky house, and this is because it rules over our luck that we earned from a past life. For the good things that we did in our past life, this luck is available for us to use in this lifetime. We don't have to earn or work for this luck. It's just available to us. And this is being activated by this lunation. The fifth house rules over our creative ability, and our greatest creation are our children. It rules over our talents. It rules over entertainment and romance. So Cancer, if there have been some hidden elements in your romantic relationship, some secrets, perhaps there's been some cheating, or maybe your partner has been doing certain things behind your back, these things are going to be revealed at this time. So this means that some of you could potentially be ending a romantic relationship. And if there's something that has also been going on with one of your children, they've been hiding things from you, these things are going to be revealed at the time of this lunation, and you're going to have to remedy this situation. If you're pregnant, this new moon could push you into delivery suddenly and unexpectedly. And this delivery could be slightly difficult, and this is because Mars is currently transiting your sign. So perhaps if you're hoping to have a natural birth, Mars has a cutting energy. It's very likely that you're going to end up having a C-section. Those who have recently found out that they're pregnant, I'm going to suggest that you handle yourself very gently. Handle yourself with care. Don't put yourself in aggressive situations because Mars is a malefic energy, and this energy is going to be in your sign for the next 6 months. And it's probably making you feel highly emotional and passive aggressive. Some of you could be having some really contentious arguments with your children, disagreements with your children or your romantic partner. Some of you could be starting a new relationship at the time of this lunation. This relationship could be highly intense and passionate, and perhaps even a little bit aggressive, perhaps a BDSM type of relationship. Your ruling planet, the moon, is always involved in any type of lunation. And fortunately, this new moon is very well aspected. It's receiving a supportive trine aspect from retrograde Saturn in the sign of Pisces. And the ruler of this lunation, Mars, who's currently transiting your sign, is also involved in the grand water trine. Very healing energy. The grand water trine is going to help you in that it's going to make things happen easily and effortlessly. So as long as you're willing to take carefully thought out actions, things are most likely going to work out your way. At this time, things are feeling highly emotional, heated, critical, feeling like you must do something really drastic right away. And this is because Cancer is going to be experiencing the Mars-Pluto opposition and transit over the next 6 months. This is going to be highly intense and it's going to alter your life in a big way. It's going to change how other people see you. Leo ascendant, sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your fourth house. The fourth house is an angle house, and when an angle house is activated, it activates all the other angles in your chart. So this means that this lunation could absolutely change your life. The fourth house is also the parental axis. It rules one of your parents, the more nurturing parents. This means that these two angles are activated. There will be a new beginning in your 10th house as a result of whatever you initiate in your fourth house area. The fourth house rules over your mother, your family, your home area. This is the most sensitive angle in your chart. This is the house where we are most vulnerable. We're naked in this house. It also rules over our ancestry, our family background, also a house where things come to end. So you have a double ending theme going on here. So some of you Leos could discover some dark, deep hidden secrets about their ancestry, their mother, their family, or their homeland. This could also mean that some of you discover that you are actually adopted. Others will discover some really dark secrets about your family or your ancestry. All these revelations and discoveries are going to change the structure of your family. Of course, some of you will be having some intense arguments regarding the things that are going to be revealed. So this means that some of you could be essentially moving out of your home, going to be having a new beginning in a new house. Others will have a new beginning in another country, as in uprooting their entire family and moving to a foreign country to establish a new beginning. If you've been living in a foreign country, this could be you moving back to your country of birth and having a new beginning, a new life in a country that you were born in, but it's going to feel like a new home. If there have been old arguments going on with your mother because of certain resentments that you have towards her or your ancestry, this could be the time that things come to a head. You have an explosive argument with your mother, and perhaps some of you decide to sever a relationship with your mother or your family. Unfortunately, these things do happen in families, and sometimes they are as a result of a lunation like this one, which is bringing up old information, secrets. Because of the opposition from Mercury to Uranus. Uranus rules an angle, your relationship angle, which is also activated at this time. So you're feeling like people are pushing you into taking action because you're squaring this lunation. And at the same time, the planet that rules your relationships is dealing with some heavy information at the time of this lunation because of the opposition from Mercury to Uranus in Taurus. This lunation is going to turn the tables in your life. However, your ruling planet, the sun, is always part of any lunation. Fortunately, the sun is well aspected by Saturn retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Saturn is in trine with this lunation, giving a helping hand, real support towards your new beginnings. Everything that you initiate at this time is going to be is being supported by Saturn, giving it stability and longevity. Virgo ascendant, sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your third house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after some type of death and transformation. The third house rules over our immediate environment. It rules whatever is in our surroundings. It rules our neighbors and our neighborhood. It also rules over our siblings and our childhood friends. The third house rules over our thoughts. It rules over the mind. It also rules over communication and the things that we use to communicate, like our phones, our computers. It also rules over social media. It also rules over the internet. If you have a long-standing argument with your neighbor or with a sibling, things are going to come to a head. The secrets are going to be revealed, and they're probably going to cause some heated arguments that could lead to an ending in a relationship or a death and transformation in certain agreements or activities that you have with your neighbor or with your siblings. If your car, your computer, or your phone has been giving you problems, this could be the time that you have an absolute breakdown. It's very possible that your car is kaput and you have to buy a new vehicle, and it's also very likely that your phone is absolutely damaged beyond repair, and this could be due to water damage, and you have to replace it with a new phone. This could also happen with your computer. It's probably just going to die out and you need to replace it with a brand new computer. If your sibling or your neighbor has been experiencing ill health or they're just old, this could be the time that they are also transitioning. If you're one of those people that doesn't like their immediate surroundings, you don't like your neighborhood, this could be the time that you're deciding to move. So your new beginning could be that you have a new immediate environment, you have new neighbors. If you've been learning a brand new skill or perhaps a new language, this could be the time that you're completing those studies and getting certified in that new skill. And if you're an author and you've been writing a book for a while, this could be the time that you're completing this book, completing the editing of the book, and you're ready to publish it. If you've been involved in some type of deep investigation or perhaps learning something in the occult, this could be the time that you're feeling that you're enlightened because you've uncovered a lot of hidden information that could be useful in helping others or informing others through a book or some other type of publication. Perhaps you're taking this hidden information to social media through a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel. You're speaking up about whatever you've uncovered, and this is because your ruling planet Mercury is transiting the sign of the lunation. Mercury is too far away from the lunation. There is no conjunction. However, Mercury is aspecting the ruler of this lunation, Mars, in a trine aspect, and also trining Neptune in the sign of Pisces. But most important of all, Mercury is opposing Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This is an exact opposition. It could be that you discover this information, hidden secrets, suddenly, and then you release this information to the public. This information could also be about underhanded things, secretive things that are going on in your neighborhood or with one of your siblings. Mercury is the planet of communication in the sign of communication. Whatever you've uncovered, discovered, whatever has been revealed to you is going to be revealed to the public because you're going to talk about it. You're going to let people know about your discovery. And you're going to be given the opportunity to do so simply because, Virgo, you are an earth sign. So you are sextiling this lunation. A sextile aspect is an aspect of opportunity. However, with this aspect, you have to take action. You have to apply some type of effort to use this energy. Otherwise, it dissipates. And I believe that you are going to take action because the third house is the house of effort. You're going to make the effort to put this information out there or to address whoever you have to about what you've discovered. This lunation is going to work out quite favorably for you, Virgo. Libra ascendant, sun or moon. This new moon is happening in your second house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after a death and transformation. The second house rules over what we love and value. It also rules over our earning ability. We all love and value our family. We love money. This is the house where we collect things, the house of our possessions. It can also be considered the house of hoarding. The second house also rules over our self-esteem. If we're earning a living, we're making good money, we're supporting our family, we're going to feel good about ourselves. This house also rules over the family that we create with another person, the family that we choose. It's not the family that we're born into, as in the family that we make with a spouse or a lover. And the friends that we have in our life for a very long time that they begin to feel like family. So if you've been having an ongoing dispute, a misunderstanding in your family, this could be the time that this the argument or dispute comes to a head. Things are said because of things that have been uncovered. These arguments could bring an ending in these relationships. If you've been operating a business that has not been turning a profit for a while, this could be the time that you decide to close this business or eliminate a certain aspect or part of your business in order to revive it so that it can be profitable. The second house also rules over the mouth, what goes in and what comes out. Some of you could be starting a new diet, a new way of eating. If you were a carnivore, you could become a vegan or a vegetarian. And some of you could embark on a purging type of diet, a deep cleansing type of diet. And these changes in your diet could bring about better health and improving your self-esteem. If some of you have been going through some type of facial reconstructive surgery, this could be the time that this surgery is completed and you're now seeing the final results. And these results could be quite life transforming and make you feel more confident about your looks. And since this house also rules over what comes out of your mouth, You have to be very aware of what you're saying to others. Your words could really have a transforming or traumatic effect on others. And perhaps this energy is exactly what you need in order for you to say what you've been wanting to say for a very long time, even though it's not going to be well received by others. Some of you could be having a new beginning because you're deciding to get rid of some of the excess with the things that you collect or the things that you possess. Perhaps you're doing an absolute makeover of your wardrobe and getting rid of clothes that don't fit you anymore. Your ruling planet Venus is not aspecting this lunation. So perhaps some of these things that are going to be happening are not going to be very important or life-changing for you because they're in a sign that, one, you don't aspect. Scorpio is a sign next door to you, so you do not aspect this sign. And your ruling planet is not touching this lunation. Your ruling planet is aspecting Jupiter with an opposition. Jupiter is transiting retrograde in Gemini, and Venus is currently transiting the sign of Sagittarius. Then in an opposition, any aspect between the two benefics is considered beneficial. Both these planets are aspecting Chiron in your 7th house of relationships. So there will be some type of healing offered to you at the time of this lunation. And this is because Jupiter is aspecting Chiron with a sextile aspect, giving you some opportunity to repair broken relationships. Venus, your ruling planet, is also trining Chiron, making reconciliation or forgiveness of others like your business partner, your spouse, any type of committed relationship. Things are going to happen easier and effortlessly. So if things are falling apart in your 2nd house, look to your partnerships. There is an opportunity for you to heal old wounds or past disagreements in your relationship. Scorpio ascendant, sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your 1st house. The 1st house is an angle house, and when an angle house is activated, it activates all the other angles in your chart. Scorpio, this is your new moon. We only get one new moon each year. This is your chance to revamp your identity, especially if this lunation is conjunct your ascendant. The ascendant rules the body, how other people see you or how you want other people to see you. So there will be a new beginning in how you present yourself to others. This new beginning could be you decide to do a total body makeover. Perhaps you're going to enhance or reduce a certain part of your body. Or some of you could go for a sex change at this time. You're coming out unapologetically as a new person with a new identity. For others, it could be a makeover with your hair. Perhaps your hair has always been long. You're going to decide to cut your hair short. And some of you could decide to go on an elimination diet, a purging and cleansing type of diet, or improve your health. This is also an excellent new moon for you to come out about your sexual preference, your sexual identity. If this new moon is happening conjunct your sun, this is going to be about your public self, your identity, and how you express that. It could have something to do with your work. This lunation could change you on a deep soul level. If this lunation is happening conjunct your moon is in the sign of Scorpio, this is going to change you deeply on an emotional level. The moon is in detriment in the sign of Scorpio, so you're probably dealing with deep emotional issues, deep resentments. This could change your relationships in your home area with your mother and your family. Scorpio is very familiar with this energy. We're used to death and transformation and regenerating ourselves in this area. This is time to release the old self, old things, so that you can regenerate and transform into something new. Unfortunately, your dark side is going to be exposed by this lunation. So if you have any secrets or if you've been doing anything that is underhanded, it's going to be exposed at this time. And because the ascendant looks over at the descendant, the house where we deal with other people as in sex, committed relationships, marriage, business partnerships, they're also being highlighted at this time. And this is because Mercury is currently transiting your sign. Mercury is not conjunct the lunation, but he is in Scorpio and is opposing Uranus, conjunct your descendant in your 7th house of Taurus. It could be that you're discovering certain information or certain things about yourself. And these things are making you think differently about your relationship and your partner. And you're informing your partner about the information, the revelations, and your partner is not in agreement because they're going to change the nature of the relationship. It could be that your partner does not agree with the changes that you're making to yourself, to your identity, your look, or perhaps your new way of thinking. Your ruling planet Mars is aspecting this lunation. Mars is currently transiting the sign of Cancer. Mars is debilitated in this sign because he would rather be on the opposite sign in Capricorn, where Pluto is transiting your other ruling planet. Your ruling planets are involved in an opposition. It almost feels like you're fighting yourself at some level. Perhaps you're not really sure about releasing the information that you've discovered, or perhaps you're doubtful about making these changes about yourself, how other people see you. And it feels like an internal conflict, like you're boxing yourself, an internal fight. Your ruling planet is being hosted by the moon because it's transiting the sign of Cancer, a sign of its debilitation. The moon is currently transiting your sign. This is also the sign where the moon is debilitated because it's exalted in the opposite sign of Taurus. So there is some type of mutual reception going on here. These planets are working with each other. They're not going to destroy each other's houses. And they can't destroy each other's houses because they already communicate in a trine aspect. Mars is also involved in the grand water trine that is happening at the time of this lunation. Mars is trining Mercury and Neptune at this time, helping the energy flow harmoniously in these three houses. If you can think through the actions that you're going to take, the initiations that you're going to make at the time of this lunation, it's very likely that these initiations, these brand new beginnings, are going to be quite successful. And I'm saying this because Saturn is aspecting this lunation by a trine aspect. This is the most exact aspect because Saturn is at around 12 degrees of Pisces. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn and hosting your other ruler, Pluto. There's a lot of supportive energy for you to make life-changing new beginnings after you let certain things about your identity, about yourself die off, things which are no longer serving you. It's time to put an end to old things. If this new moon is part of your solar return chart, meaning you're born a few days before or a few days after, this is going to be a solar year for you that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And if you use this energy effectively, you could have brand new beginnings that are going to stay in your life for a very long time because Saturn is supporting this lunation and giving things longevity. Saturn is holding you together. So mourn whatever is dying off and ending at this time, knowing that your brand new beginnings are going to be supported, they're going to be solid. Sagittarius, ascendant, sun, or moon. This lunation is happening in your 12th house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after a death and transformation. The 12th house is a hidden house, so it's very likely that you don't really feel the more emotional and intense feelings that are going to be happening at the time of this lunation. This house rules over our hidden enemies, and sometimes we can be our own hidden enemy through self-sabotage, like drinking too much, doing drugs, getting involved in illicit affairs, anything that we do behind the scenes. It could also be self-harm, self-bodily harm, as in cutting and bloodletting. So when we have a lunation, we have these two lights, the two luminaries, in a dark house, a Scorpio house, which is an 8th house of the zodiac, happening in the 12th house of your chart. It's going to expose whatever is hidden. So the good part is, the positive part of this lunation is it's going to expose your hidden enemies. And once you figured out who your hidden enemies are, it gives you a chance to address them. This house is also the house of rest and healing. It rules over sleep, dreams, and the other side. So some of you could be receiving some type of communication from past generations. This house also rules over our generational karma. Generational karma is handed down to you from past generations. You don't have a choice in receiving this karma. You get it because you were born into a certain family. Perhaps you're born into a family of alcoholics or drug users. This is your generational karma. It could be a habit that you're probably dealing with in your life at this time. This lunation could put you in a situation where you realize what addiction is doing to your life. You could decide to quit drugs or stop drinking cold turkey. Some of you will be going into rehab or into hospital at this time because the 12th house rules over these hidden places like hospitals, rehab centers. It also rules over prisons. And it doesn't have to be an actual prison. It could be a self-made prison, self-isolation. Perhaps you've been isolating from others. You've been working on a project. Perhaps you've been working on yourself and spiritual health and decided to isolate yourself from others. This could be the time that you're ending this self-isolation and coming out Others could be coming out of prison. Perhaps you've been locked up for a few years and your prison sentence is ending at this time. And on the flip side, it could be that you're having a new beginning because you're going away at this time. The 12th house also rules over foreign lands and far off places. Some of you could be leaving a foreign country and going back to your home country. So you have an ending in a foreign country and a new beginning in your home country. Your ruling planet Jupiter is not aspecting this lunation, and this is because Jupiter is currently transiting the sign of Gemini, the sign of its debilitation, so you're not able to really function at your best in this sign. Sagittarius has Venus transiting their sign, and Venus is bringing healing to your identity. You're feeling good about yourself, you're probably looking good and attracting a lot of attention. Venus is aspecting Chiron with a trine aspect. This is a very supportive aspect and it's going to support you on your healing journey, especially if you apply effort, because your ruling planet Jupiter is also forming a sextile aspect to Chiron, and this is going to help you heal old wounds. So you have all the energy you need to help you in your healing journey. And perhaps letting go of generational karma. Some of you may be deciding that this is not your cross to bear anymore. This addiction belongs to past generations and you're going to break this karma and have a new beginning moving forward. You're going to decide to break the karma bonds of addiction. This is exactly the new moon that can help you do this, especially because your ruling planet is making really positive aspects. And because Jupiter is transiting your partnership area, your committed partner, your spouse, or your business partner could be the person that is going to help you. Capricorn ascendant, sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your 11th house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after some type of death and transformation. The 11th house is one of the lucky houses in the chart. It rules over your hopes, dreams, and wishes. It also rules over your friends, your aunties, uncle, also rules over our benefactors. This is the house that rewards all the work that we did in the 10th house. This is the house of promotions, financial windfalls, recognition among your peers, prizes and accolades. If you've been working on a project or an internet-based type of business, this could be the time that you're seeing the rewards of all the hard work that you did. Some of you could be receiving a promotion, recognition in the groups that you belong to. So whatever ending that is happening at this time is going to lead to something really positive, a positive brand new beginning. If you've been having problems with a friend or in the groups that you belong to, your social media platforms, some of you are going to get into an argument, a disagreement, things come to a head and relationships end. You could decide to end your membership on these platforms. If you had an old wish or dream that is unrealistic, this could be the time that you're realizing that you probably have to let this go, because if it hasn't already happened, you have not achieved that fame and acknowledgement that you've been working on. It's time to let it go. So some of you will be essentially letting go of old dreams and wishes, and that's because you're seeing things from a very realistic lens at this time. You're seeing the difference between reality and fantasy. And if you've been involved in a situationship with a friend, this could be the time that relationship is coming to an end. And for some of you, you could decide to take a situationship to the next level, make it become a real relationship, a committed relationship that could possibly lead to marriage. And I'm saying this because your ruling planet, Saturn, is supporting this lunation. Saturn has the most exact aspect, and it's a positive aspect, a trine aspect, which will make things happen easily and effortlessly. So the transition from situationship to real committed relationship could happen very easily. It's very likely that you can transition this situationship into a solid relationship, a relationship that is going to stay in your life for a very long time, because your ruling planet is supporting this brand new beginning. This relationship could also bring deep emotional healing, because Capricorn is going through a deep transformation, a transformation of your identity on a deep soul level. Pluto has been transiting your sign since 2008. Pluto is concluding a transit that most people are not going to have in this lifetime, simply because Pluto has a long orb around the zodiac. This is a deeply karmic transit. You're not going to be the same person after this transit is completed, and this transit is concluding sometime next month. The other reason why this lunation is going to be really beneficial and positive for you, Capricorn, is because Capricorn is an earth sign and is going to sextile this lunation. There will be opportunities that are going to open up for you because of this new moon. A sextile aspect is an aspect of effort, so you have to apply yourself. You have to do something to use this energy, otherwise this energy is just going to dissipate. Capricorn has a lot of opportunities to make solid brand new beginnings in your 11th house with the groups that you belong to, your friendships, and a change in your hopes, dreams, and wishes. This is a very positive and supportive new moon for you, Capricorn. Just make sure to release whatever is broken, whatever is already dying out, whatever is not working, whatever is not useful to person that you're going to become, your new identity, or to whatever new direction you're taking your life. Aquarius, ascendant, sun, or moon. This lunation is happening in your 10th house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after a death and transformation. The 10th house is an angle house, and when an angle house is activated, it activates all the other angles in your chart. This means that this lunation could absolutely change your life. The 10th house is a public house, and whenever anything happens in this area, it is released, it's known to the public. Remember that Mercury, loudmouth, is transiting this area. He is going to release information, and this information could have something to do with your 4th house, your home, your mother, your family. And this is because Uranus is currently transiting the sign of Taurus and is in direct opposition with Mercury. Whatever is going to happen in the 10th house is also going to affect your home area. The 10th house rules over our career, the work that we do. It also rules over our status in society. It rules over our bosses, authority figures. It also rules over one of the parents, the more dominant parent. This could essentially have something to do with your father if he was the more dominant parent. Unfortunately, if his health has not been well, or if he's just old and frail, this could be the time that he transitions. And it could happen suddenly and unexpectedly. This is going to be a rather challenging new moon for you. And this is because Aquarius squares the sign of Scorpio. A square aspect is a challenging aspect that pushes us into taking action. So you are going to be triggered, you're going to be reactive at the time of this lunation. If you've been underperforming at your job, this could be the time that you're going to get fired or you're going to quit your job. And that could be as a result of certain information that is released about you or your boss or the company that you work for. It could be that the company that you work for is shut down or goes out of business. And if you or your company or your boss has been doing something underhanded, something secret, some secret hidden transactions, they're going to be revealed at this time. And the revelation of these secrets is the reason why the company has to shut down, or perhaps you get fired or you end up quitting. Some of you will be having a brand new beginning because you found new employment, you're starting a new job, a new career. On a larger scale, some of you could be experiencing big changes in your company or in your job as a result of major changes with the leadership in our government or in your government. Some of you will have a new beginning because of a change in status. Some of you could be deciding to get married at this time, while others could be getting divorced. Unfortunately, for some people, you could be becoming a widow or a widower. This is certainly going to be a challenging lunation for you, Aquarius, but you do have some supporting energy from your other ruling planet, Saturn. Saturn is currently transiting retrograde in the sign of Pisces at around 12 degrees and is directly aspecting this lunation in a trine aspect. So this means that energy between these houses is going to flow very easily, making certain new beginnings and initiations happen easily and effortlessly. And whatever you begin in this area is going to have the stability, longevity, and support of Saturn. This is going to give you some sense of confidence. The ruling planet Uranus is not aspecting this lunation. Uranus is currently transiting in the sign of Taurus, your home area, bringing a lot of instability in your home area, within your relationships with your family and perhaps even your mother. Some of you may have moved a couple of times already or are going to move as a result of this lunation because of the changes that are happening in your 10th house area, your job area with your status. It's going to impact your stability in your home area. Mercury has some information that could possibly cause some chaos that could possibly cause some chaos in your home area or in your work area. If this lunation is impacting you deeply on an emotional level, I'm going to encourage you to rely on the energy of the grand water trine. There is hope for healing. Pisces ascendant, sun or moon. This lunation is happening in your ninth house. This is where you're going to have a brand new beginning after a death and transformation. Ninth house is a lucky house. It's a Jupiterian house. It rules over our future and our belief system. It also rules over the justice system, foreign lands, foreign people, foreign languages. It also rules over our gurus, our priests, our professors, higher education. This is why it also rules over universities and such institutions. This is a really positive lunation for you, Pisces, and this is because you are a water sign. The lunation is happening in Scorpio, another water sign, and you aspect each other with a trine aspect. This aspect is going to make some things happen easily, effortlessly. Some of you will be letting go of an old belief system that you feel is no longer serving you, that is not going to take you towards your future. It could be that you no longer believe this belief system. Some of you could have belonged to a cult and you're seeing the dark side of the dark behaviors of this cult, or perhaps some deep hidden secrets about the cult are being revealed to you at this time. You're saying no to this. You don't want to identify yourself or align yourself with these people. You could have a new beginning in that you're adopting a brand new belief system. If you've been living in a foreign country for a long time, this could be the time that you're deciding to move back to your homeland. And for some of you that have been wanting to move abroad, this could be the time that you're completing the paperwork. Perhaps you're getting your green card or you're getting your citizenship. So you have a new beginning in a foreign land. In Vedic astrology, the ninth house rules over the father or a father figure, somebody who you look up to. And if this person has been experiencing ill health or they're old and frail, this could be the time that they are transitioning. If you've been involved in a lawsuit that has been going on for a very long time, this could be the time that this lawsuit is concluding and perhaps concluding in your favor. And for those that are looking to initiate a lawsuit, this is an excellent time for you to do so. You don't want to initiate a brand new lawsuit when Mars is moving retrograde. I speak a bit more about this in my Mars opposite Pluto transit video. Since the ninth house rules over the future, some of you are going to use this lunation in order to let go of your dark old beliefs. You're going to want to regenerate yourself, rebuild yourself into something much more positive. A future that is looking bright because you're aligning with the right energies. Your ruling planet Jupiter is not aspecting this lunation because Jupiter is currently transiting the sign of Gemini, squaring your sign. So there is a bit of challenge going on here. I'm highlighting Jupiter because, of course, he's your ruling planet and he's aspecting Venus in an opposition. It's always good to see the two benefics aspect each other, even though these two benefics are essentially squaring your sign. So there could be a bit of friction because of the square aspect. Let's go back to the aspect that Jupiter is making to Chiron. That is making a sextile aspect to Chiron, which is bringing opportunities for you to heal yourself, your emotional self, or the relationships that you have with people in your home area, because Jupiter is currently transiting your fourth house. Neptune, your other ruling planet, is not directly aspecting this lunation. However, Neptune is aspecting both rulers of this lunation. There is a trine aspect to Mars and a sextile aspect to Pluto. These aspects are going to make certain things happen easily and effortlessly. The sextile aspect is going to bring you opportunities to be successful with your new beginnings. The sextile aspect is an aspect where you need to apply effort in order to make this energy work for you. So you actually have to do something. You have to apply yourself to use this energy. The other reason why I feel this is really a spectacular, fantastic new moon for you Pisces is because Saturn is transiting at 12 degrees retrograde in your sign, aspecting this lunation with a trine aspect. Saturn is providing longevity, stability. He's holding down this lunation and whatever initiations that you decide to make. Saturn is giving this stability. And this is really positive because whenever we have Saturn transiting our sign, we tend to feel somewhat restricted. So perhaps Saturn is giving you the discipline that is needed for you to make the smart choices, the smart new beginnings. Don't get triggered by this emotional and sensitive energy.